Hello, this is Annette with Project Refined Life. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do a side-by-side comparison of the Dirt Gems first edition and the second edition. Now I have the first edition walkthrough on my channel and I will link that in one of the cards here. But I wanted to show you the wonderful ways that they've updated the second edition. So I really enjoy the Dirt Gems deck because it is a plant ally deck. It is not, I said it before, it is not the deck that you go to for foraging or plant recognition. It deals with spirit, it deals with healing. It goes on a deeper level and using plants as allies for spiritual healing, which I really had not seen in a deck as deep as this one goes. I'm a little picky when it comes to plant decks, so here we are. I was excited when they offered the updated version of this oracle because I really enjoyed the first one. And I enjoyed it so much that I was thinking, like, do I really need the second edition because I have the first? And it's really just the issue with the box that I have a problem with. But after seeing some of the upgrades and the things that they've changed, I went ahead and ordered it. I've had it in for a while now and I have worked with it. I put it back into its original order so that way I could compare the first and the second edition with you. So the Dirt Gems Oracle is a collaboration between Anne Louise Burdett and Chelsea Iris Granger. Apparently they started this in 2019 and then they released the first edition, I think it was last year. Well, at least that's when I received my first edition, was last year. And, or the year before. Gosh, I cannot remember now. But anyhow, the second edition came out last year. And I am really happy with what they've done here. So let me share with you this deck. It really is all about plant magic. And of course, healing with plants is all about plant magic as well. But it's, I don't know, to me, this is more of a spiritual deck, which I just really like. So let's start off with the guidebook first. So the guidebook, as you can see, looks pretty much identical. The second guidebook is a little bit shorter, a little bit thicker. It's made a little better, has the name of the Oracle deck on the side. It just feels a little nicer. Now, you know, this soft petal finish that's on this guidebook on the first edition, I have to say, I like the way that it feels. But this one feels great as well. It's just a little bit more of a matte finish on the book. The pages are all the same. Really, nothing has changed within the guidebook between the first and the second edition. The descriptions have not changed. So other than the quality of the guidebook itself, the first and the second are the same. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside, and we're going to get into the boxes now. Now, the first edition, again, you have that matte or that rose petal finish. There was no notches on the side of the box, so it made it a little bit hard to open. And then, oh, see, look, it came out. One of the cards used to get stuck here on the bottom of the deck. But I think because I had used it so much and kind of worked with the box, kind of stretching it out, I think now, see, now it's falling out. I went ahead and edged mine in like this deep blue, which I don't know that I was exactly very happy with, but the blue that I originally edged it, I really didn't like it, so I went through it with another one, and I mean, it's okay, you know, it's all right. But originally it came just without any edging on it, no color on it. But the cards were a little thin, which I really came to like because it was really easy to shuffle. And I'm going to resist the urge to shuffle it because I put it in order for this walkthrough. So it's a thin box. It has the little signs of the of the suits within the deck on the side of the box. Okay, this is a second edition, and this is a much nicer box. This is a little flimsy, but I really did enjoy this deck, so it was okay. It was really okay. So I did go back and forth on should I or shouldn't I, but I'm glad I did. So this is a thicker box. It does have the notches, so they did pay attention to what they were hearing. The backs are different than the first edition, and I do like the backs. You got a pretty little picture there on the inside, and a pretty little picture here on the inside of the cover as well. So very, very big improvements within the box alone. Okay, so here are the cards. Now, the cards are gilded in this really pretty, like this antique gold kind of a thing on the gilding, but it's not that, I don't want to say cheap, but it's not the cheap, the cheap gold gilding on the side. It's really nice. And I don't think it's going to chip or anything like that. I don't know. I mean, depends how aggressive you are with your deck, but I'm pretty gentle with my decks for the most part. I'm not a good shuffler, so maybe that's the reason that my edging kind of stays in good shape. Okay, so once again, we've got the comparison of the cards. The cards themselves, there's just a very slight difference between the first and the second. The first is just a little bit taller, and as far as width, they're the same width, just a slight difference between the first and the second as far as height. And the cardstock is much, much nicer. But then again, like I said, I came to really enjoy how flexible this edition was. But it's okay. I like this one. This one's sturdy. It feels good. All right, so let me go ahead and bring both of these in, and let's go ahead and try to get through this. So now, the main thing between the first and the second is the color variation. You're going to find brighter colors within the second edition and slight modifications between some of the cards. As you can see, nothing so far. I really enjoy working with this deck with several of my tarot decks. And I love the way that the card, that the guidebook reads. See, so far, we're okay. And here we go. Ginger is completely different. Completely different. So here, I really did like that little rainbow and then the people within the rainbow. And then you have the basic ginger plant here. But here they have different elements. You can see the way that the plant would grow. And it does give you some other illustrations here. Hops were the same. We're still looking at some of the same imagery on most of the cards. It is broken up into suits, and I will read them to you in just a moment. Passion Flower is completely different, and I really do enjoy the second edition of Passion Flower of that particular card. Rosemary. Rosemary is a very important card for me. I really work well with Rosemary. St. John's Wort is the same. Sweet Flag, the same. Slightly. Now, if you can see here, this is actually a little duller than the first edition, which is kind of surprising because for the most part, the second edition is brighter. And there's a little color variation here. This one has a little bit more of the blue tones, and this one does not, which is a little surprising. Again, I kind of like the blue in the background. It kind of shows up a little bit more, but I'm okay still. This is the same. Again, this one's brighter than the second. And here we go. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, maybe the first edition was brighter. I thought the second was brighter, but no, looking at it now, the first was brighter. This is a little bit darker, actually. Okay, so Holy Basil, completely different. You still have the basic elements in there, but very different. Iris. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why I was thinking that the second edition was brighter. The second edition is actually deeper, and the first is actually a lot more vibrant. Kelp is the same. Peppermint is completely different, like completely different. We've got seaweed here, and that is the same, just deeper again. This is the same. And once again, the same. Yeah, we're, you know, I don't know. Okay, here we've got a little bit of difference here. We've got the addition of those two wheels, not wheels, but you know, I don't know how people do these and keep things so nice and neat on their tables, because I can't. So here again with the willow, and I do like the brightness in this card, but it's all right. Aloe Vera. Aloe Vera is the same. Okay, slightly different here within the imagery of the plant. This is the same up here. And again, the same. Completely different with the chaparral. Completely different. I kind of like this, the second edition, more because I don't know, it seems like that desert scene is a little bit more prevalent within the imagery. And then you still have the plant here. And that, again, is another very important plant for me, especially living out here in Arizona. Chickweed is the same. Clary Sage. Okay, here's another one that is completely different once again. I'm not quite sure on this one which one I like more, but I guess it really doesn't matter at this point which one I like more. Dandelion. Oh, I love dandelions so much. And it is the same, so that's a good thing, right? These are the same as well. Got a little scorpion in there. Ginkgo is the same. Lavender is the same. Licorice, the same. Here we have a slight difference within the plant itself. And it seems like this is a little bit more forward, like the imagery comes out a little bit more at you. And this is the same. Here we go. Got some more that are looking about the same, but there are just a few that are very different. Let's see here. Yarrow Angelica. So this is much deeper. The imagery is the same, but much deeper, like much deeper. Here we go. This is the same. Same. Barberry. Oops, my finger's on it. You can't see it if my finger's on it. Okay, bee balm. Once again, the same. And again here, we just have a deeper color here on this particular edition, the second edition. Yeah, just the first edition was more vibrant, which I don't know, I really like the vibrancy of the first edition, but it's a good trade-off. Everything's the same here. Catnip, I think this is such a cool card. I really like everything going on in there. Dogwood. Figwort. Same imagery, just deeper. Hawthorn, same thing. I love that they have the phases of the butterfly here. Okay, Magnolia, major difference in Magnolia. And although I do like seeing the Magnolia tree on this particular edition, the first edition, I do like this, it kind of looks like mala beads, but as you can see, you have a planet right there, which is interesting. You know, magnolia tree. I, as a child, I was allergic apparently to magnolia trees. We had a big, beautiful magnolia tree in the front of our house, and my parents had to take it down because apparently I was allergic to it. But I love magnolias, and I'm always drawn to the scent of magnolias and just everything about, I love magnolia trees. So little story for you there. Marshmallow, again, a little bit different. And I do like the addition of the clouds. And here we go. Motherwort is the same, just a little bit deeper in colors. And again, here's another one with nettle, completely different. And this one, or did I say, yeah, completely different. And then this one is the same. I do love the way that the earth is covered with the poison ivy. And wild yam, oops, that's backwards. Wild yam, a lot more within the card. So you have this basic, you know, even this is bigger, busier, even within the plant, the leaves. There's many more leaves within there, or maybe it's just tighter, more compact. And then they added in all these other elements within the card. So that is it. Oh, one more thing. So let me just show you the contents within the book. So you have suits. I really don't use it like, I don't pull different suits. I just do one card usually with this, and then I use it with a deck. But within our suits, we have a blaze, which is all about the element of fire. We have a float, which is about the elements of water. A drift, which is within the element of air. And a mist, which is the element of earth. And within the card, if you look at the bottom, it has the little element, the element symbol on the bottom of the card in the first and the second edition. See the little element? It's tiny, but it is there. And that's how you can tell the difference between the elements. See that little element symbol there? Right at the bottom. But I really do enjoy working with this deck. Like I said, I've done a walkthrough of this deck before, and I really do like the way that it expresses the healing portion, the emotional portion, and the spiritual portion of using these plants as allies for healing. So that is it. Yeah, like I said before, you're not going to find out how to make a tea or how to make a tincture with this deck. But once again, one of the decks that I really do love incorporating into my tarot readings. And I think it's just phenomenal to be able to use these decks to just pull out what is needed spiritually within a reading, and for that person or for myself most of the time, to do work with, or how to work with it. So I don't know, this may become one of those decks. See, the blue still kind of comes off in my hands because I had to go over it a couple of times. And this has been a while already that I did this. It's still coming off in my hands, but this particular deck may be one that I just use, like say if I'm going to an event to pull cards or something, and then maybe the second edition will just kind of, because look at how pretty it is. Maybe this one will just stay here with me. Maybe this will just become my personal deck, and maybe the first edition will become like my client deck or something. You know, that way people can touch them and stuff, and then I can share all my blue stuff with everybody else. All right, I appreciate you watching my channel. Thank you so much for watching the walkthrough of the first and second edition of Dirt Gems. If you like this content, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you later. Thank you so much.